Intermolecular forces. Kinetic molecular theory states that attractive forces between molecules in a gas are negligible, and that's why gases have neither a definite shape nor volume. Now, on the other hand, liquids and solids have definite volumes. So, what does that mean? That means that there are attractive forces holding the particles together. And what are these temporary attractive forces known as? Intermolecular forces. Now, these intermolecular forces are basically electrostatic attractions, and they are much weaker than covalent or ionic bonds. So, let's talk about intermolecular versus intramolecular. Um, So let's look at intermolecular versus intramolecular forces. Intramolecular basically means within a molecule, and intermolecular means between two molecules. Between two molecules. So, for example, let's say this is CH3OH. I'm drawing one molecule here, and all these bonds, this, all these bonds are covalent bonds. But if I draw another molecule, so for example, I have CH3 here, this is OH, then the bond here, the force of attraction between the oxygen of this molecule and hydrogen of this molecule, this is intermolecular attraction or intermolecular force. There are many types of intermolecular forces: ion dipole, dipole-dipole, hydrogen bonding, and dispersion forces. Ion dipole attractions are the strongest intermolecular forces, and dispersion forces are the weakest one. And intramolecular forces, we cover covalent bonds under it. So let's look at the first one, ion dipole attraction. And as it says, it is the attraction between ions and polar molecules. So for example, let's say we take a ionic compound NaCl or NaF. Na is positively charged, F is negatively charged. So, and a polar molecule like water. So this is water Lewis structure, oxygen with partial negative and hydrogen with partial positive charge. So all these sodium ions, since they are positively charged, they are around this oxygen, and chloride ions are around hydrogen. So this is basically an ion dipole attraction. So ionic compounds, they are dissolving in water to make the hydrated ions. The next is the dipole-dipole attraction. It is between two polar molecules interacting with the other polar molecules. So for example, let's look at HCl. So in HCl, fluorine being more electronegative has slight negative charge, hydrogen slight positive charge. So if I take another one, positive, negative, so this is the dipole-dipole attraction. Remember this, these are the intermolecular forces, so between the two molecules. Um, Hydrogen bond is a special case of dipole-dipole attraction, and it is stronger than the dipole-dipole attraction that we just studied. Now, it requires two very specific components, hydrogen bond donor and hydrogen bond acceptor. So, what is a hydrogen bond donor? It's a partially positively charged hydrogen attached to nitrogen, oxygen, or fluorine. And what is a hydrogen bond acceptor? It's a partial negatively charged nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine with the lone pair of electrons. So let's look at this. For example, this HF hydrogen is positive, fluorine is negative, and this is another molecule. So this is a hydrogen bond donor, and this is a hydrogen bond donor, and this is a um, hydrogen bond acceptor. Um, I can take another example. Let's say, can we make let's change. Can we make the? Is there any hydrogen bond between HF and HCl? So keep in mind we need two things to make the hydrogen bond donor. So this hydrogen can in this molecule this hydrogen can be a hydrogen bond donor. Why? Because it is attached to fluorine. And in HCl molecule this can be a hydrogen bond acceptor. Why? Because we have something with the lone pair. So the bond between this hydrogen and chlorine is the hydrogen bond. Now, the most common ones are nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, but we can still use chlorine because it has lone pair of electrons. Um, Hydrogen bonding, importance of that, the most important is the low density of ice compared with the liquid water. Think about it, how the hydrogen bonding is playing role here. And to protect the aquatic life, because ice is less dense than water, so it flows on top of water and acts as a blanket to protect the aquatic life and below from the extremes of cold that occur above the ice. Hydrogen bond is is also involved in the helical structure of DNA, in certain proteins and other large biomolecules in plants and animals. Uh, the weakest intermolecular force is the dispersion force, and that is between the nonpolar molecules. Um, Now, when you have mm, when you have an atom and there are electrons around them, that these electrons are constantly moving in some random motion. So at any instant in time, the molecule or atom can have the asymmetric distribution, which makes the instantaneous dipole. So now, for example, look at Br2 here. Br2 is a nonpolar molecule, but since electrons are moving constantly, then at any instant in time, the asymmetric distribution of electron can um, bring a partial positive charge on one bromine and a partial negative charge on another bromine. So when you have another bromine molecule with the same thing, positive, negative, so this kind of attraction, which is a very short-lived between these two poles, is the dispersion force. All molecules, all atoms, they show dispersion forces. Um, Again, it is very short-lived, temporary. So that is why it is weaker than the other dipole-dipole attractions, as present between the nonpolar molecules and helps to understand the physical properties of nonpolar molecules. So look at this question. What you have to do is, these are the different molecules, and you have to tell what kind of attractions are present in these molecules. Um, and then you also have to circle the one that predominates. For example, if there is any molecule, first thing you're going to write down dispersion in all of them. And let's say you have a molecule, there is one molecule that's showing only dispersion, but the other one is showing dispersion as well as dipole-dipole. Then in this molecule, you have to circle dipole-dipole, means the one that predominates. Drawing the diagram basically means showing the intermolecular forces. Again, let's say if let's say I take water and I want to show the hydrogen bonding, uh, you're going to show the structure for the intermolecular force that dominates. So in water, of course dispersion is there, of course dipole dipole is there, but the hydrogen bonding is the strongest one. So you have to show the hydrogen bonding, and that will be this: hydrogen bond donor and a hydrogen bond acceptor, because this is negative, this is positive. So this is the diagram. Now, stronger the intermolecular forces, higher the boiling point of the molecule is, higher is the viscosity, higher is the surface tension, and lower is the vapor pressure. Because if the forces are strong, you have to break all these forces so that the liquid molecules can escape into the vapor form. So again, strong intermolecular forces means higher boiling point. And if a molecule has a higher boiling point, means it has a lower vapor pressure. Because if a boiling point is high, means you cannot change it into vapors, and vapor pressure will be lower. So these questions, the question number 9 to 12, you can answer it again based on the intermolecular forces. CH2O, this is Lewis structure for CH2O. Think about it, what intermolecular forces are present here. Lewis structure can help a lot. This is the Lewis structure for CCl4. Of course, we have to put all these lone pairs. And think about what intermolecular forces are present here, and stronger intermolecular forces will show the higher boiling point. Do these 12 questions and bring it in the class to discuss.